You have no control. Uh, if I was asked, I consider myself eclectic, and I don't like to say that I'm any specific sect of spirituality or philosophy or anything like that. I would say I'm pretty open. But if somebody was to ask, Trevor, I want to know about you and what you think. Is there one institution of spirituality that I could look into to see where you got your basis from? I would say, if I had to, Buddhism, because I think suffering and the way it's described, and even partly the way Buddhism describes the nature of reality, I firmly can't say it is my truth because I don't really believe in anything fully, but I can say that that's kind of what I base my stuff off of, because a lot of it is very very in depth about the suffering of human beings and why they do it, and a lot of it, when read up on in my life, seems to ring very true. So Eckhart Tolle, I'm probably going to be speaking about various parts from this book because this is what I'm on right now. Once again, it's Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth: Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. It's a great book. So to start this off about you have no control, start from here. Page 102. Section is called Conscious Suffering. The man on the cross is an archetypal image. He is every man and every woman. As long as you resist suffering, it is a slow process because you resist. As long as you resist suffering, it is a slow process because the resistance creates more ego to burn up. When you accept suffering, however, there is an acceleration of that process, which is brought about by the fact that you suffer consciously. You can accept suffering for yourself, or you can accept it for someone else, such as your child or parent. In the midst of conscious suffering, there is already the transmutation. The fire of suffering becomes the light of consciousness. The ego says, I shouldn't have to suffer, and that thought makes you suffer much more. It is a distortion of the truth, which is always paradoxical. The truth is that you need to say yes to suffering before you can transcend it. God, I read that horrible, but I hope you got the gist. Now, the thing is, we are born into a world that thinks we have to control everything. We fit into roles, we fit into parenting controls where we want to control our kids, we fit into job archetypes where we think we have to control people around us and tell them how they need to work. We fit into relational images where we think we have to control the people we love, and that is far from what makes us a being, spiritual being. Because I think we get so caught up in being human, we forgot that there's a piece of being that really is a necessity in living a positive, healing type of a life. You have no control. People don't like to hear this because it really blasts the ego a little bit, because everybody wants control. And they think that if you say, I don't control anything, that you don't care. And that's actually the opposite of what this really is. You have no control. The thing is, the reason why people suffer so much is you try to hold on to life, and you try to hold on to images, and you try to hold on to people and control them because you think you know what this is here, and you think you know the trail that life is supposed to lead. And that is where we fall short of happiness, and that is where we suffer. And that is why so many parents play the role of, I know more than you about life, so I'm going to tell you how to live it, when that's not true at all. None of us know about life. That is why relationships are so fucked up. We want to control the other person, and we want to tell them how to be instead of letting them just be. So when that person leaves, when that person dies, when that person does something different, we're fucking pissed off, and we think that that's not legitimate and they shouldn't be doing that. And I think the key to my happiness, at least in my life, is to know that I have no control. And automatically a lot of people think that's negative, but there's a beautiful peace in knowing you don't have any control, because you know you don't have to try to hold to anything, because the only constant is change. And I know I talk about this a lot, but I hope this is rephrased a little bit different. You don't have control. You have a little bit of control over your health, but as I talk about in my book, A Chance to Begin Again Once Again, you can try to affect your health, and you can work out and you can eat healthy, but there's still Mr. Healthy who dies of cancer. You know what I mean? That you can try to control your love of your relationship, but there's still the person who says it still isn't enough, I want to leave. You can try to control your kids, but they're a different person than you. They're still going to want to be different than you. Um, you can try to control God. Everybody does. That's what religion is for. But you don't know God. You can't control God. Because when you think you can control God, then you think life is supposed to go a specific way. And when it doesn't happen, you say, fuck you, God. God, you fucked me. That's not legitimate. You don't have control. This is an ever-changing reality simulation that we're in. And just because you have flesh and you can hold on to a table doesn't mean you can hold on to other objects. You can hold on to life. No, no, that's not how this is. If you can know that every situation you're in, every second of the day, even in the now, you don't have control and you have to embrace the change, you can understand that when things change, go with it. That's why people suffer. Oh, this person left me. I can't live anymore because I tried to control it and do this and do that, but they left. Oh, my job. I tried to control it and do this and that and this and that, and then I got laid off or fired. My kids turned out to be this way, and I tried to control them and tell them how they needed to be, and now we don't talk anymore because they're different. You don't have control. Stop trying to control everything. You can't. You're not the creator. There may be no creator, but in general, you're not the creator. You're not God. You don't have that type of a pull here. You know, you have to embrace the change within yourself. You have to also be able to know you're the only one you control. And sometimes that doesn't even happen because we get these different images and frequencies that we pick up on it from our brains, and we end up doing stupid shit. But for the most part, you can only partially control yourself. So stop trying to control everything because you have none. You have none. This is an egocentric, maniacal thing that you're doing, thinking that you have a say in what the world and what reality and what God and what your significant other should be doing. Let it be. Let it be, because you're going to suffer if you try to think nothing changes. You're going to suffer if you think there's no such thing as sadness. You're going to suffer if you think that everything lasts forever. That's why we say, oh, love lasts forever in life, and da-da-da. No, man, love doesn't last forever. Life doesn't last forever. Thoughts don't last forever. It's just how it is. You know, that's why I think a piece of marriage is pretty messed up, because we try to hold it and control it and say, don't ever look at anybody else. Don't ever think anything different. Don't ever have any other ideas. Just stick with me. Never go anywhere else. And you make up yourself around these structures, and then when they're gone, you're broken. You have no control, and there's a beauty in that. It's not negative. Embrace that. Embrace that there is no control. You wouldn't try to sit there and hold up your hands to stop a flooding river. That's going to go around you. It's going to keep going, keep moving. That's what it does. That's what life does. You have no control. Yep.